Ames Board of Trustee meeting, April 9th, 2025. I'll call the meeting to order. You'll stand up and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, I would look for an approval of the agenda and ask for a motion.
I make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we'll get into our consent agenda and I'll go ahead and read through the items. 4A, minutes of the March 12th, 2025 District Board meeting. B, revised policy 61, inquiries to trustees. C, revised policy 222, tuition and fees deferments. D, repeal policy 4-1700, staff development. There's no discussion or question. If I could have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I second that.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
As we know, we encourage general public to provide comments directly for the business and operations of the college. And so, do you have any comments? Great. Thank you. Next up, we have our presentation from Kelly Jackson, our Executive Director of the Foundation, for our alum and excellence at Ames.
Good afternoon. Am I on? Do not sound like I'm on. There, I'm on. Good afternoon, Board of Trustees, Cabinet, and colleagues in the audience. Today I have the privilege of presenting Katie Scott. Katie graduated from Ames in 2020 and studied animal science during her time here at the Fort Lupton campus. So we've got a local on campus today. She is currently working at the Red Angus Association of America in the registration and value-added departments. She also runs her family's beef cattle ranch where they raise seed stock, short thorn, and Hereford cattle. That was a mouthful. I present to you today Katie Scott and her Ames alumni story.
Can everyone hear me okay? Perfect. Thank you for the introduction, Kelly. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today to speak to you all about my time here at Ames and how it has helped me on my journey, both finishing up my academic career after Ames and then working like in the professional world. So as she said, I am a local. I was born and raised in Brighton, Colorado, so just right down the road. I guess I'll just jump right into my higher education. So my higher education had many steps to it. Initially, some were backwards, but most of them were forwards. Previously, I had started at Colorado State University in the fall of 2016, right after I graduated from high school. And at the time, I decided that it was not for me. It was mostly due to my unsureness of which degree path I wanted to pursue and what I wanted to do with that degree after I had graduated. So I left CSU after one semester and I worked predominantly with my folks at their veterinary clinic. It's called North Denver Animal Clinic. It's based kind of northeast of Denver, of downtown Denver. And I also worked with the National Western Stock Show. I've been going to the stock show ever since I was a little kid, so it just worked. It worked out and it felt right to work there. And at that time, my family also started our own farm, which is Blueberry Farm, where we began raising mostly seed stock, shorthorn, and Hereford cattle, and we've also dove a bit into the commercial side of things. And through these efforts, I had discovered my passion for beef and the agriculture industry overall. But I was still missing that key, I guess you could say, to hone in my professional skills and to find my home in those industries. I was always more so on the fringe of those industries, but I wanted to dive deeper into them and find my place there. So at this point, I knew that higher education was once again the next step, but now is the question as to where to start that process. And I'm sure more, like people who are more affiliated with this campus know Amy McFarland. She is rather notorious, but that's okay. So I actually met Amy through my time in 4-H. She was my 4-H extension agent in Adams County. And I believe it was the spring/summer of 2018. She was still helping out with Adams County 4-H, and at this point I had already aged out, but I was still helping them out as well. And she told me that she had recently taken a job at Ames Community College in their agriculture science department. And just by the way of conversation, she told me about the program at Ames and how it was starting to grow. And she encouraged me to apply and just give it a shot and to take those first steps into higher education again. She knew of my unsureness. She knew of my time at CSU and how like it really hadn't fit me, but she was persistent. And I'm not here to take a jab at Colorado State. But I will say, like with much larger universities, you tend to lose that personability and that connection from students to colleges to universities to that sort of thing. So I started here at Ames in the fall of 2018, and I was unsure of what to expect from both the program and from the college itself. But very quickly, I realized that I had come to a great place, a place that saw me for me, and a place that recognized the talents that I already had, and that moved me to develop the untapped ones and moved me to become the best student and future professional that I could be. And I could stand up here all day long and sing the praises of the school, but I am limited to 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll try to keep it narrowed down to the important bits. But in the agriculture department, Amy and we called him Doc B, Dr. Bennett. He's an old retired veterinarian, I believe, and he has since left here and truly retired. But they were and are still amazing professionals here associated with the college and mentors. The classes in the agriculture department are chosen and made incredibly well. Both for just the agriculture department, animal science department, and like the courses overall, more so towards the general education courses that I took while I was here. In no class did I ever feel unwelcome. My questions were never unanswered. I had found a place that I belonged and that made me feel so. And I cannot express enough kudos and gratitude to those professors, employees, volunteers, board members, everyone involved with this community college that worked so hard to develop that atmosphere here. The most enjoyable part of Ames is the people here. It becomes your extended family. And if you ever have a problem, both in and out of the campus, there is always a listening ear waiting to help you. And that has been reinstilled in me. I was wandering the halls before coming in here, and I came across a little bulletin board over by the shop classes, and there's all sorts of stuff on there for whether you're struggling with your mental health, whether you want to become, dive deeper into the campus, and like the stuff that's offered here, and like stuff like that. So it's always a very welcoming community. And I know that even as an alumni, I can come back here and find the resources here that I need. And during my time here, I also received a scholarship from the National Western Stock Show for the 2019 to 2020 season, which Amy herself nominated me for. And then just threw at me, hey, by the way, kid, you got this coming at you. Okay, cool. And I would say that was receiving that scholarship and through all my hard work here at Ames, that was the first major footprint, so to speak, in the livestock industry, and it led to many connections that I still have today. And after graduating here in the spring of 2020, during the pandemic and COVID days, I graduated here with my associate's degree. I transferred my credits and went on to complete my bachelor's degree at Colorado State University. I am still involved with National Western, with my folks' veterinary practice, with our farm, and now through my time here that then led me to CSU and led me to discovering my true passion in the beef and seed stock industries. I am now working for the Red Angus Association of America, which is a beef cattle association where we manage data that producers submit on their cattle, and we keep track of pedigrees, EPDs, the whole shooting match. It's a lot, but it is a very good job, and I am happy to be working there. And this is the first job that I acquired specifically in my field of study, and it all comes back to here. My knowledge and skill set have grown exponentially during and since my time here at Ames. But all of that, like leaving Ames, doing my associates here, going back to CSU, working with the seed stock program that they have up here, or they have up there, graduating from CSU, and then starting my professional career for real. All of that was built on the foundation that Ames provided for me. I will forever be grateful for the school. And when I am asked for a recommendation for higher education, I have always and will always say Ames Community College. When they ask why, I always tell them that this place became a second home for me, that it offers so many great mentors and opportunities, whether you finish your degree here and go to be a working professional, or whether you continue on and go to pursue your bachelor's. It doesn't matter what area or department you're involved in. It will always prepare you and be the foundation for what the future holds. Thank you for allowing me to come here and speak to you today. I'm happy to have been a part of Ames and still continue to be involved with this community college, and I am happy that I was able to share my story with you today.
So it's just with the light that you paint, you're gonna share your story with us.
Thank you.
And I represent this area, and it's really nice to hear your story and how successful you've been.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Awesome. Honored.
You not dropped us. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Katie. Okay, next up, we'll get into our representatives to board, our AFA Faculty Association. Unfortunately, Sarah Zeller, our new person, was not able to be here today. Look forward to her next month. Up next, we have David Mott, our Ames Staff Association.
Brittany told me not to be afraid of the mic. Afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Chair Shaw, board, cabinet, colleagues, and friends. All right. I want to say quickly on the records that Chair Shaw and I did not coordinate outfits today. I guess you can see that online too. Okay. All right, I've got 2 event updates from ASA. We had our Well Food Bank event 3 weeks ago, 21st, and I was not able to attend myself, but from what I heard, some of that event was successful. Then this is last Friday, the 4th, we had our, it's hard for me to say this, bittersweet, we had our last all-staff ASA meeting for the year. So I know it's shocking for me to start putting on end of year cap, but that was it. And we have, it's actually supposed to be right now today, our annual popcorn staff appreciation event, and we hand out popcorn all over the college. We had a delay on the delivery, and so we're actually not going to be able to do that until next Thursday, next week. So be on the lookout for that. And then we also have, I mentioned last month, our our second Habitat for Humanity volunteer event next Friday, the 18th. I just checked before I came up the status of available spots, and there are a lot of spots available. So I think I'm just right on the spot off the cuff, going to make an executive decision and say that we can extend that to others who may be interested who are not staff. So I know that's been posted in the daily, so that link is available. Please utilize that. Well, remember, we have two total events that day. One is in the morning. I'm gonna mix it up, but the morning is the morning is restore indoors.
Construction, it says here. Construction.
Thank you. Okay, so morning is the construction on the job site at Hope Springs. Then the afternoon session is in the restore to the mall. So there's 2 signups. Yeah, please do that. Please take advantage of that for sure. Okay, and then I've got some communication updates. I mentioned it last month very briefly, but we are coming on into election season for ASA leadership team. And Dee and I have been chatting about that, and we've got actually 5 open positions right now for next year. And so those positions are president-elect, secretary, 4 Lupton rep, and part-time rep. And so there's actually a little bit of ambiguity in our charter about they all are elected positions, but it's unclear what that means. Who does the elect, all that. So we're working through that as a leadership team. What matters for today and for my notification here is that the nominations are open. And so we need nominations. So if any of you staff out there are interested, if any of you are cabinet, deans, directors, and no staff who would be well fitted for those roles, I'm going to be posting, hopefully by Friday, the link for that nomination form as well. So please take advantage of that and start sending folks our way. Appreciate it. Okay, and then I want to do something a little bit different than we haven't been doing, than what we've been doing lately, and that's just highlighting very quickly some of the benefits that we have as staff here at Ames. And so for today, I think it's fitting, I've run through the budget proposal for next year and everything. I want to highlight one of the benefits, and that is tuition reimbursement. So as a staff member, Ames gives a very generous tuition reimbursement policy and procedure. And I just was refreshing myself this morning. That's policy 4-1525. For those of you who are interested, the procedure is 4-1525A. And the procedure is actually pretty verbose. It's pretty healthy. So there's lots of subtle nuances about different rules. But I just wanted to highlight that Ames does offer that as a benefit for employees. We can be reimbursed up to $4,000 a year if you're taking classes at an HLC accredited institution. So I know I've taken advantage of that. I know a lot of us do. So just want to highlight that and say thank you to the board for maintaining that, and for the college for maintaining that as a benefit for staff. Okay, and then last, my typical Ripple highlight. Again, another strong month, I think, in the Ripples. If you have those in your packet. I want to highlight this month, Therese Edwards. And Therese is a member of the care team and a case manager. And her nomination came from Danielle Irwin, who is involved with student life. And a really glowing Ripple from Danielle. I'm sure you'll last there. Therese's kindness, humor, and genuine desire to help others shine through in everything she does. She is a valued member of the team and a fundamental pillar of support. Her efforts improve individual lives and strengthen the fabric of our entire student body. She is truly deserving of this recognition as she creates positive waves of change that touch the lives of all she meets. So great job, Therese. Keep up with your work. Thanks.
Questions for them? I just want to thank you guys in the ASA for all of your community work and really about the giving back and providing such great leadership in our community. So thank you. Okay. Next up, we have our SGA, Student Government Association, Jeff Thatch, and I believe he's going to be on Zoom today.
I am. Thank you. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm talking through headphones. All right. So good afternoon, members of the board, Chair Schock, Dr. B, faculty, staff, and my fellow students. I'm sorry I cannot be there in person today. I am in Denver attending the Colorado Higher Education Basic Needs Summit with Patty Schultz and some of the Artie's Pantry team. Happy April. The days are getting longer, the sun feels warmer, and campus has that buzz in the air, the kind that only comes when spring meets final season. We're about a month out from another graduation, and while that brings the usual mix of stress, excitement, and caffeine, it also brings a moment to pause and reflect on the journey we've all been together. As a student government president, I get to wear a lot of hats. Some days it's meetings and planning, other days it's helping set up events. But the heart of this job, the part that I love the most, is the people. It's getting to witness the moments when a student who didn't think they had a place here suddenly finds one. Or when someone steps up and uses their voice for the first time in a way that even surprises themselves. This reminds me of a moment that stuck with me. It was when I attended the SKD conference in Pittsburgh over spring break. I met a student, someone I had never met before, and at first he was quiet and kind of holding back. But as we started to talk as strangers do that are forced to sleep in the same room as one another, he just started to relax and he started to crack these little good dad jokes and he laughed. And like I said, he opened up and I realized something. All it took was a little invitation, a little space, and someone willing to listen. That moment was a light bulb for me. That's why I love working in student life and why student life is so important. We get to help create those spaces where students are seen, heard, and valued, where their voices matter because they do. As the semester winds down, our CAP and ARC teams are hosting their final events, and SGA members are wrapping up the last of their project. There's a quiet kind of beauty in this time of year, something about the way everything is winding down while something new begins to take shape. New students, new buildings, and new experiences. While I haven't met any of next year's team, I can already feel the energy stirring with the promise of new voices, new ideas, and renewed purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Any questions for Jeff? Nice job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll start on our action items. We'll go to 7A, which is our compensation proposal for fiscal year 2025-26 with Dee Schultz, our Chief Human Resource Officer of Employee Services.
Good afternoon, trustees, Chair Schock and Dr. Bornstein. So I'm here to present our compensation proposal for fiscal year 2025-26. Administration has reviewed and taken into consideration a number of factors in making the following recommendations. First, a new three-tiered compensation model for adjunct faculty positions. The structure recognizes adjunct faculty who have demonstrated their commitment to the college by meeting a set of criteria to include instructional requirements, professional development, and evaluation. This proposed structure will replace the current engagement stipend program. Second, we'd like to propose a 4.5% pay increase for eligible staff, faculty, and administrator positions. This recommendation addresses the results of the formal compensation market assessment and which showed staff average salaries are 3.6% below market averages and administrator average salaries are 0.3% below market averages. This allows Ames to also sustain a positive momentum in our compensation practices and avoid falling behind in future market assessments. The fiscal impact is just over 3.1 million, and the administrative recommendation is a motion to propose the compensation adjustment, which includes the new pay structure for adjunct faculty.
Thank you, Dee. Thanks for your presentation last month as we move forward. So any questions? If not, I would ask for a motion to approve the proposed compensation adjustment, which includes a new pay structure for adjunct faculty as noted by administrative recommendation.
That's what I propose.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second that.
Great, thank you. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll move on to 7B, medical and dental insurance premiums, fiscal year 2025-26. Again, D. Schultz.
Thank you. Ames participates in the Comprehensive Health and Benefits Plan, developed and managed by the State Board of Community Colleges and Occupational Education. Ames is a member of the Benefits Advisory Committee, which meets monthly to review claims experience, adjust plan coverages, annually receive provider service and rate proposals, and act on how earnings from the SBCCOE Trust Benefit Trust established in 1983 will be applied to buy down future premium costs for the participating colleges and their employees. Currently, medical benefits include plan options provided by Anthem, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and Kaiser. Dental benefits include plan options provided by Delta Dental. Since the work session, we have some updates on the changes to premiums and potential plan changes. Anthem, we have a slight plan change for Anthem HMO plan. This change to the plan design includes an increased cost sharing of 90 and 10%. So employees will have a 10% pay after meeting their copay for hospital, emergency room, X-ray, MRI, and CT scans. The impact to the proposed premium will decrease from 6.5% to 4.7%. Kaiser has some plan changes as well, and includes a slight increase to maximum out-of-pocket costs, and emergency room copay increases from $250 to $500. These changes will impact the premium from a proposed 3.99% to an increase of 3.2%. And then we were also able to negotiate the premium increase with Delta Dental. It was initially proposed at 4.86%. That was negotiated down to 3.19%. So these increases may result up to $25 per monthly premium increases for employees, depending on the plan that they're in. And so those are just some changes that have come in since my last presentation. Currently, Ames provides 100% coverage for employee only tier and 85% coverage for plus children, spouse, and family coverage. Open enrollment for employees begins May 1st. Therefore, approval of comprehensive medical and benefit plan premium payments is timely. So administrative recommendation is a motion to maintain coverage for employee only tier at 100% and coverage for plus children, spouse, and family tiers at 85%.
Thank you. Questions? I'm going to read the administrative recommendation. Probably the easiest way to do it is maintain coverage for employees only tier at 100% and coverage for plus children, spouse, and family tiers at 85% for fiscal year 25-26. The recommendation is for a motion for that.
I move to approve that recommendation.
Thank you.
And I second that.
Okay, perfect. All of in favor say aye.
Aye.
Perfect.
And thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Okay, our next 7C, we have an emeritus status request for Rick Houston or Busson, Dr. David Ayler, our Vice President of Academic Affairs.
Thank you, Chair Schock, trustees, board, guests. I'm pleased to recommend 3 faculty for emeritus status. And I'm going to, because not everybody saw the work session last time. I'm going to just read a little bit on each of these to highlight some of the things they've done. So the first one is for Dr. Rick Bousson. He's been with the college since 1990, joining full-time faculty in 2004. In the 21 years serving in this role, he's guided the music department, serving as the primary organizer of a majority of events, including concerts, recitals, open mic nights for students. His passion for educating musicians and non-musicians alike is infectious. He has gracefully dealt with many changes over the years, and the chair of visual performing arts, he has pushed that department to do big things they had never attempted before, such as the Dark Side of the Moon and Santana tribute concerts. And he has a knack and passion for bringing people together with music. And I'm pleased to recommend approval of Emeritus status for Richard Bousson.
On that, is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Perfect.
Thank you. Next, proposing emeritus status for Evan Oakley. In his role as chair, Professor Oakley transformed the English Literature and Speech Department. He founded or co-founded learner-centered initiatives such as the Writers Community, Ames English Honor Society, and Ames Review Literary Magazine. He oversaw or contributed to initiatives such as establishing closer ties between the department and the Writing Center, becoming an early adopter of OER and free-to-student materials, and reassessing the role of developmental English classes. His service to the institution spread across the college on too many committees and projects to name. He was and remains an inspiring teacher with high expectations of students, and he has won an array of Ames Teaching and Service Awards. As chair, Professor Oakley cultivated a collegial environment among department faculty, encouraging innovation and collaboration in the pursuit of providing top quality learner-centered education. I'm pleased to recommend Professor Oakley for emeritus status.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve this recommendation.
Second that. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Granted.
Thank you. And finally, emeritus status for Dan Sisson. Dan has consistently demonstrated excellence in teaching, sharing his vast knowledge and expertise with students while fostering a learning environment that is both engaging and supportive. His ability to connect with students, mentor them, and prepare them for successful careers has made him a highly respected figure in the department. His passion for automotive technology and education has not only benefited his students, but also enhanced the reputation of our program. Beyond the classroom, Dan has contributed significantly to curriculum development, ensuring that our courses remain current with industry standards and technological advancements. He has been an advocate for hands-on learning, often going above and beyond to provide students with real-world experiences and practical skills that set them apart in the workplace. I'm pleased to recommend Dan Sisson for emeritus status.
Thank you. To approve? I mean, approved.
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Granted.
Thank you very much.
Impressive stories. Yeah, thank you. Next up, we have our informational items. We'll go over our event calendar and upcoming work session. Jerry?
Yes, thank you, Chair Schock. We're going to start with upcoming events. With Celebration Week coming up, there are lots of events. So I wanted to take time and dive a little bit deeper and just go through kind of one-on-one or one by one with the events to make sure we have a trustee attending one. So if you have your calendars available to take a look at, we'll just kind of start at the top. We have the trio end of year celebration, which which is scheduled for May the 3rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Student Commons on the Greeley campus. Currently, I haven't received any RSVPs yet. Anybody Yes, so this is the trio end of year celebration on May the 3rd, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. On the Greeley campus.
Saturday.
Yes. Okay. Next one on the list is the Veterans Coining Ceremony. So May the 7th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the Greeley campus in the Welcome Center Ballroom. Currently, we don't have any RSVPs for that either. Okay. Thank you, Chair Shaw. Next, we have the graduate dinner, which is May the 9th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the Welcome Center. So far, I've heard back from Trustee Trustwell and Liddell, both attending. Anybody else? Okay. Trustee O'Hara. Next, United Students of Color reception on May the 12th, 3:30 to 5 p.m. in the Student Commons on the Greeley campus. Trustee Wendell has RSVP event. Next, we have see here the Mosaic graduation celebration also on May the 12th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. It'll be on the Greeley campus. The specific location on campus is TBD. So right now we don't have any RSVPs yet. 10. Yep. All right. Next is the Lavender graduate celebration on the 13th, lunch hour, 12 p.m. 1 p.m. on the Greeley campus and Student Commons.
Mr. Harvey, can you explain the lavender graduation?
Yes, actually, there, able to get a little bit more detail on it, I think.
Great.
Yes.
Curious.
Yes, Lavender graduation is a celebration for anybody that's welcome to attend, but specifically for our LGBTQ plus community. It's facilitated by the Mosaic, and I believe we haven't had it since COVID. This is the first time we've bringing it back.
Thank you.
There is a bit of an interesting national story behind it, and I just know a little bit, but I think in the 90s, and someone who's in the audience can tell me if I'm wrong, at a university somewhere across the country, parent was of an LGBTQ student was unable to attend graduation, and there was some bar or something that was dropped. And again, if someone knows the story, it's actually a fairly good story, and I'm not doing it justice. Anyway, because there were some barriers to that commencement, then that institution put together a small ceremony, and they called it Lavender Graduation, and then it took flight across the country as a way to certainly highlight and honor folks who are graduating from the LGBTQ plus community.
Thank you.
No, it looked like you were gonna.
Say yes to the first generation.
Yes, yeah, that was the next one. So yeah, first generation. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Trustee.
And it's
Wendell.
okay, more than one of them.
Oh, absolutely, please, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to make sure at least one person, one trustee is at each one, so. All right, so next is the first generation graduate celebration. May the 13th, 1:30 to 3 on the Greeley campus. And we do have Trustee Wendell having RSVP'd, but if anybody else would like to attend, you're welcome to. And we have the med prep pinning also on May 13th, 5:30 to 7:30 on the Greeley campus in the ballroom. We don't have any RSVPs yet. Okay. Thank you, Chair Shaw. Next, we have the Academic Honors Ceremony, May the 14th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the ballroom on the Welcome Center, Greeley campus. And we have Trustee Wendell and Trustee Trotzel have RSVP'd so far. But okay. Down Trustee O'Hara. Next, we've got President's Reception. Also on May 14th, 3:30 to 5 in the ballroom on the Greeley campus. And we have Trustee Tresswell and Trustee Wendell RSVP'd for that. To Trustee O'Hara. Next is the Nurses Pinning on the 15th of May, 12:30 to 3, Welcome Center Ballroom. Thank you, Chair Schock. We have commencement. Please let me know if you won't be able to attend. My assumption now is that everybody will be able to attend, but if anything comes up, please let me know. The last two pieces are the Fire and Police Academy graduations. So both of those are going to be on May the 17th out on the Windsor campus. The fire graduation is at 11 a.m. and the police graduation is at 2 p.m. Be able to make that. Right, and I will follow back up after the meeting today with some of the ones that we still are filling. And of course, I'll also fill in Trustee Hakeley as well to check his availability. Next piece to cover is just the upcoming meeting. So May meeting will be on the Greeley campus, and you'll see there on the list of annual items. We've got faculty renewals, budget adoption. The work session was today for that. Faculty consultation agreement, state appropriations, those end of fiscal year items there. Any questions or anything else for me?
The retreat is June 3rd and 4th.
That's great. Yes, the board retreat will be June 3rd and 4th in the Welcome Center, our normal space there on the second floor. Sorry.
I'm not sure I can try to see yes.
Okay, yes, yeah.
You probably noted in your packet correspondence. This correspondence was received immediately prior to the March meeting. And so it was read into the record, but not included into the packet. And so Jerry has put this in the packet. And it was Hayes Community College Fort Lupton campus has been selected for the Fire Chiefs Community Partnership Award for 2024. And so congratulations to the Fort Lupton campus. Okay, next up, we have our CEO President's Report.
So first, thank you, Dr. Bukowski, for giving me the correct information on lavender graduation. So I'm just going to read an excerpt because it really is a The lavender graduation ceremony was created by Dr. Roni Sanlo, a Jewish lesbian who was denied the opportunity to attend the graduations of her biological children because of her sexual orientation. It was through this experience that she came to understand the pain felt by her students. So encouraged by the Dean of Students at the University of Michigan, Dr. Sanlo designed the first lavender graduation ceremony in 1995, and then it has progressed since then. So Dr. Bukowski, thank you for sending that so I can do the correct information. Also, before we jump in, and I can see Dr. Gellerstein there, we have a couple of things. At your place, you'll see A with Artie, and I know Fuller's in the audience. This is a recruiting tool that I just talked about today. I thought it was a sticker and it looked great until Julie said, turn it over and look at these wonderful bite-sized pieces of information that I think are really cool. So if you want some more of these, please let Jerry or I know and we'll get them to you. I particularly am interested and find wonderful that section that says what you don't pay for, so that folks who are considering know all of the benefits that they receive as a student. Well, and it's of course not an exhaustive list, but some of the other perks and benefits. So that's what that is. And before we move on to Dr. Taylor, Dr. Bukowski has been working for about 18 months since he started, really learning AIMS, learning the STACE division, understanding the strategic initiatives that we're moving through, looking at what next practices are across the country for student affairs, looking at the national organizations, ASPA and NASPA, and really putting a lot of good thought work into what does that division, the ideal division, look like for Ames in this environment and into the future. So I want to give him a moment to show all the work that he's and his team has been doing really since he started to set Ames up for strength as we go forward. So Dr. P.
So we'll just take we have one slide to walk you through kind of how we've reorganized the division and certainly kind of to set the tone. We're really excited about kind of where this ends up for us, as well as the different kind of optimizations that it provides us in terms of efficiency, customer service, and a number of other things as well. So the way the division will be designed moving forward is that we will have 5 organizational units. The first is enrollment management, and that focuses on delivering a unified and strategic approach across admissions, financial aid, high school programs, and registration and records, which will ensure a seamless and interconnected set of student services. Those offices are led by the position of Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, and again, include admissions, financial aid, high school programs, and registration and records. The last 2 of which are actually relocating to the division from academic affairs. The next group is the Dean of Students Office. So the Dean of Students Office is led by the Dean of Students, and certainly includes all of our kind of programmatic facing offices. So the offices that are engaged primarily in programming to our students. It includes things like the Mosaic, Career Services, Student Advocacy, Student Life, and Veteran Services. And then the Dean of Students is kind of the principal's office at the college, so conduct does fall there as well. But that unit, again, focused on programming basis. We have student accessibility and well-being. So that's led by a new executive director of that unit and kind of coalesces all of our wraparound services that we provide to students. It includes care case management, counseling, what used to be disability access services, being retitled as student accessibility services, and then lastly, Artie's Pantry. So all of our wraparound services fall under one umbrella. The next unit is student success. That includes another new executive director in that area, which oversees advising Ames to UNC, high school to Ames, transfer services, and Reicher Bridge scholars. So in this unit, it's really all of our advising facing functions to get students through the door and ultimately across the graduation stage. And then lastly is all in programs and services. We have a new director for that area, and that will include not only all in programs and services that work with kind of underrepresented and underserved populations, but would also include, if we obtained it, the CAMP grant, which we've applied for. And then of course we have 2 TRIO student support services grants, both classic and STEM, that fall under this umbrella. That person will also work directly with me on several institution-wide efforts, such as our First Gen 4 task force, HSI efforts, and other things of that nature. And as if that's not enough, the other thing, all this will become effective on May 19th, is that we will also officially change to student affairs. So we'll become the Division of Student Affairs instead of SACE. So that's our other big change that we'll have on May 19th. Any questions?
I have like a future question. So obviously, Sunrise Community Health Center is going to manage the Health and Wellness Center. How will it relate then to this group and this structure?
Absolutely. So our executive director for student accessibility and well-being will actually be in the building with them. And counseling and care of those 2 departments will also move to the new Student Health and Wellness Center. So they'll be kind of our day-to-day immediate contact. And then certainly our Artie's Pantry and student accessibility services, they'll stay in the student commons, but right across the line.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, under President's Report, we'd like to have Dr. Ayler, thank you for waiting, come on up and give us our annual monitoring report of the academic program feasibility review and viability.
Thank you. I'm proud to share here that Dr. DeCosmo will be sharing this report. Turn it over to her.
Dr. Ehler. Good afternoon, Chair Schock, members of the board, Dr. B, and cabinet and colleagues. It is my pleasure to present to you our semi-annual update on program feasibility and program review and viability. Program feasibility is a separate process from program review and viability, so this report will have two distinct parts to it. The very first part will dive into focusing on the program feasibility process. So program feasibility is that process that we use when ideas for new programs are brought forward. We start by investigating the landscape of the career field in our geographic area, and then based on what we find, we make a determination to either not pursue the program at this time or to continue pursuing into a deeper research phase, and then possibly after that an implementation phase. This list is the programs that we have considered since the last board update, which was back in October. You'll notice that many of those programs are in a researching phase, and that phase can include a deeper feasibility study to look at things like space needs, equipment needs, human resources needs, and then possibly also gathering feedback from appropriate advisory committees or external constituent groups. And then one of the programs on the list you'll notice is cloud computing. You'll see that that's in the implementation stage. That is a stage that we have after the researching stage, and that includes when we start seeking approvals for the program from the curriculum committee, from the board, from the state, from HLC. There might be a programmatic accreditor that we need to seek approval from. And then running parallel to all of those approvals, we may also have course approvals that need to take place and start developing curriculum. And that particular program, Cloud Computing and Cisco, we did receive some feedback from our advisory committee members, and they suggested a name revision to something a little more modern. So that name was revised to Cloud Systems Administration, and that is the certificate that you saw this morning in the work session. This next list shows the programs that were included back in that October 2024 board update, along with an update of their status. And you'll notice several programs are still in that implementation stage. We're still marching forward on those. It's just that all those approvals that need to happen, they can't happen all at once. So they happen more in like a boxcar fashion. So once we receive curriculum committee approval, it would go to the board, and then after that, it would go to the state. And because of that, the implementation stage can take upwards of 12 to maybe even 15 months. So we'll continue updating you on those. There are 3 programs in the list that we are no longer pursuing at this time. One of those is radiation therapy, and the other is golf course management. We are not pursuing those at this time just because of the low numbers of available jobs in the region. And then the engineering BAS, at this time, we're not going to pursue that one either. That one is because students in our Associates of Engineering Sciences degree program already have many options to complete a bachelor's degree locally. So rather than pursuing our own bachelor's degree program, we're going to continue to strengthen our partnerships with articulations to local universities that have those currently existing bachelor's programs in engineering. They are very eager to partner with community colleges in engineering, so that's good news. And then finally, this list is showing all of the programs that were requested prior to last fall. All are still in the researching phase, and we will continue to update you on those. So now moving into the next part of the update, we'll move to the program review and viability portion. That is the annual process that we engage in as an academic affairs division that helps us to look at our current programs and analyze success and relevancy and review and establish goals. The process starts with academic departments collecting and reviewing program data. Departments use the data and program review questions to guide conversations with faculty in their departments, and then they write their annual program review narratives. This all happens late summer and into the fall semester. Then leadership will review the department narratives and goals and engage in some ongoing conversation with departments to offer support. This year, we had a few enhancements to the process based on feedback that we received from faculty. So this year, instead of a list of questions that all programs needed to answer, all of the questions, we moved to organizing questions into themes. We have 4 themes, and we provided departments with some flexibility to answer the questions in each of the themes that were relevant to them. We also provided access to last year's program review data, as well as curricular assessment data, hoping to support a more seamless conversation from program review year to year, have it be more of a looking back, looking current, and looking ahead, as opposed to feeling like a choppy, isolated 1 year at a time kind of a process. And then also this year we had a really big switch with the way chairs and program directors were provided with their program data. So this year we gave chairs and program directors access to data instead of handing them predetermined data. This gave departments the opportunity to mine for the data that they wanted and needed in order to engage in their own program review. We provided live training so that chairs and program directors could have autonomy and learn how to collect that data that they needed. We created videos so that chairs and program directors could access that training at any time. Our academic affairs functional analysts held probably dozens of office hours, both in person and over Zoom, to provide chairs and program directors with that support in using that new way to collect their data. And then finally, we added this year individual department meetings with faculty and administrators. These new program review meetings are being held this semester. Each department meeting includes the part-time faculty, the full-time faculty, the chair or the program director, the dean, Dr. Ehler, and sometimes Dr. Rothamer or Dr. Bornstein. And the purpose of the meetings is really to create some intentional, purposeful, focused conversations and connections with departments to administration. Topics have included celebrating program success, discussing challenges, discussing goals, collaborating on plans, receiving guidance, and sharing experiences. Some of these meetings have already happened this semester, some have not happened yet. I believe we're about halfway through and we should probably be wrapping those up in the next few weeks. But initial feedback has been very positive about these meetings. I think everyone is finding them very beneficial. There are over 60 programs that are reviewed each year, and every program provided some amazing accomplishments in their program review narratives and during these department meetings. And there is truly some amazing work happening in our programs. So this is just a very small representative sample of some of these great accomplishments. The math department noticed that students on the STEM path, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. Students on the STEM path were struggling a little bit with their trigonometry recall. Trigonometry is a very memorization heavy course, and quick recall is required in future courses. So the department created a trig boot camp to refresh those foundational skills to increase student success. The Adult Ed and English Language Learners program engaged in program review for the first time this year, and they established a scholarship program supporting 18 students. Surge Tech noticed students needed more support and implemented some things that they could do during class to help with that support, such as flashcards, in-class assessments. They incorporated some review games and a little bit more in-person instruction. And then finally, Construction and Engineering Technology reported their very first cohort of Greeley West P-Tech students graduating. The P-Tech is a program that stands for Pathways in Technology Early College High School. And it's a program that integrates high school and college and career preparation all into one seamless experience. And in addition to celebrating successes, every program sets goals for the upcoming year. This is a small representative sample just to show you a taste of what some of our departments are up to in the next year. English has committed to manually input midterm grades into a separate platform that advisors have access to in order to start conversations between faculty, advisor, and student about student support and progress. Business has set a goal to incorporate more networking opportunities for students to support their integration into the workplace. Industrial Tech is planning to offer more classes in different modalities, such as hybrid, online, remote, and in-person. This will support students who are both working and taking classes. And then finally, our automotive department set a goal to create a peer mentoring program for peer-to-peer support and coaching, which we know is so critical for student feelings of belonging and retention. And then also in these program review narratives and these follow-up meetings, some programs have asked for some additional support. Here are some support areas that have come up from departments. There have been requests for some faculty professional development in several areas. This information has been shared with our Faculty Teaching and Learning Center and our instructional design team just to help with their program plans for the upcoming year. Some departments have requested support with how to better utilize space through scheduling on evenings, weekends, and maybe in other modalities such as hybrid and online. Other departments have expressed needs for equipment, which helps inform us during the budgeting process and our Perkins grant planning process. And before I take questions, I would just like to take the opportunity to thank and appreciate all of the many, many people involved in both the program inquiry process and the program review and viability process. These are very big efforts within the division, but they're very critical for students and our commitment to continuous improvement.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Ready?
I don't have any questions, but the comments, I mean, you've done a magnificent job, and I know you've been working on it, and every year it's just more and more impressive. So, and it seems like it's smoothing out and things are really clicking. There's some amazing ideas that are coming about. So thank you, and the team.
Thank you
for doing a great job.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? I would echo Heidi. This is an area that I've had questions in the past, and it's really nice to see through my tenure even just where you are and recognizing all of the work that goes into this. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice job. Thank you.
Next aspect of the President's report, I'd like to ask Blake Ketchum, the Director of Cybersecurity, to come up and give us a monitoring report. Cybersecurity. Cyber.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bornstein, Chair Schaaf, trustees, and colleagues. My name is Blake Ketchum. I'm the Director of Cybersecurity within Information Technology, and I'm here to provide you with an annual report of our cybersecurity program, which is a requirement of the Safeguards Rule under the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. This law concerns the protection of student information for any institution that administers student financial aid through Title IV programs. So we know that technology plays an important role in learning, in teaching, and running a college. But at the same time, there are real risks associated with technology and maintaining the data that's needed to run a college. We hear about data breaches occasionally in the news, but the reality is that they're happening every day across the country, affecting all sectors. And so we're not hearing about them in the news because they're happening so frequently. And so our cybersecurity team is focused on preventing those types of risks from happening to the college. Unfortunately, education is the most impacted sector of any when it comes to cyber attacks. And so we take that very seriously. The threat landscape continues to be ever changing as technology and as the tactics change. There are various motivations for cyber criminals, but the one that's most relevant to Ames is financial gain. They use things like ransomware, which is a form of digital extortion, and stealing and then selling stolen data to make their money. And, you know, cyber criminals are just like regular business people. They're looking to try to maximize their profits. And one of the ways that they do that is using the same tool that I think many of us use, which is AI tools. We have seen a noticeable increase in sophistication, a lot of the phishing attempts that we're getting in particular. And we attribute that to the use of generative AI. At the same time, though, we're able to leverage AI-powered tools in preventing those types of attacks, which we have been using quite successfully in the cybersecurity program now for many years. And we're going to continue to do that. And we're always looking to try to stay ahead of them in light of artificial intelligence and other things that they're using. And finally, third-party risk continues to be a concern as more and more folks are utilizing online services, not just here at Ames, but across the globe. The cybersecurity program continues to be healthy, though of course, no one, including Ames, is 100% secure. It's just not possible. And so we continue to try to adapt in light of the evolving cybersecurity landscape. We have completed a number of initiatives to help improve our security posture, and we continue to address, monitor and address those risks as well. We face a constant barrage of cybersecurity attacks, more than 10,000 per day on average. And so some of those incidents or some of those events do become security incidents that we have to handle. And so to date, we've handled 28 cybersecurity incidents, which is down about 20% from this time last year. All of those incidents were relatively low in severity. And so there was no known or suspected misuse of sensitive data. And so we're continuing to look at both internal and external risk factors to make sure that we're doing everything we can to continue to protect the college. And then finally, growth areas, third-party risk. We continue to rely on third-party service providers, as we should. There's a lot of value in third-party service providers. It does represent a growing digital footprint. And so we have to take that into consideration with our cyber exposure. So we're looking to actively monitor and manage those relationships as best we can to protect that data. And then as that digital footprint continues to expand, our data is spread out across more online services. And so having that visibility and control of our data, regardless of where it resides, remains very important. Yeah, happy to answer any questions.
I just have one curiosity. Sorry. Curiosity is, so are you in communication with other higher ed folks like you about what's happening in the field?
I think that's when people ask me, what do you like about higher education? I think that's one of the things that I bring up first is just the collaboration amongst our peers is unmatched in any industry. And so we do have a lot of information sharing channels that we use that are private that the bad actors don't have access to. So that's really important when it comes to cyber attacks, because if, say, UNC is seeing something, they can share that with us and we can proactively make sure that we're protected. Great. Questions?
Question, just a statement. It's a dynamic situation all the time with cybersecurity, and your numbers are very impressive. So thank you.
Okay,
Do we have any supervisors with new employees that we would like to introduce to the board? Okay, no questions. So, to the board, do you have any questions on the written division reports, the packets that cabinet? Questions? I just want to thank the Fort Lupton campus for hosting us today. It's always a pleasure to be here. And that concludes the president's report. Chair Shaw, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, move into reflections, comments, accolades. Anybody have comments you'd like to make for the board member?
I'll just comment very briefly. Once again, a very well-organized board meeting, very informative. But it's organized so that you can absorb a lot of information in a short time because you all do such a good job and you answer questions before they come up. Thank you.
We'd just like to thank everyone for doing such an amazing job and see the, I mean, I can actually see the difference you're making and the progress. I mean, every board meeting and then after the last few years, I mean, you guys are clicking together and it's, you can tell based on the students and what you folks are doing. So well done. And thank you for working so hard.
Thank you.
Just ditto. Again, go away just feeling so proud to be on the board of trustees and to be able to be out in the community. When they say what's new at Ames, it's always, do you have 3 hours? Because they're great people. Great things are happening out there. And I really appreciate this and love several because even when people ask me, I'll be able to give that to them. So, but thank you for all you do. You are greatly appreciated. We just hope that we're all doing as a board enough to make sure the community understands just what a gem Ames Community College is. Thank you to Fort Lupton for having us down here.
Always nice to come down to the campus. And I do want to call out Kelly Jackson, and I think Katie probably left, but nice job. I still, it's probably my favorite piece of the board meeting is to get to see those who have gone through programming and the success and the confidence of being able to be in front and laying out what their life plan is. So thank you. Next, we have our assessment of the board meeting. And when we reach the end of the meeting, as you know, we always take a moment for self-assessment for our own accountability. Do any of the trustees have any other feedback about things that worked well in the meeting or things that need to improve? Okay. With that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn into executive session.
I make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.